Hey there, this is Valerie McDowell, your writer, editor, author, book coach, and consultant. I want to welcome you to Write It Out Wednesday. It is Wednesday, July 7th, which is my brother's birthday. Happy birthday, Jeff. And it is a day that we put you, the writer, back at the top of your writing list. We know that so many things can get in the way of you actually getting your writing done. So we try to set aside some time on Wednesdays to make sure that we put your writing at the top of your list. Now, for those who don't know me, I am a writer, editor, author, book coach, and consultant, but I work with writing and time-challenged individuals, helping them get their stories told and their books published. And since 2019, I have helped 22 authors go from idea to publish, and we've got a few more in the works. So that's a lot of books that go from idea to publish. And for those of you who have been trying to get your books written for years or decades, even from what I've learned from many people, that I can help you go from idea to publish in as little as 3 months. So using my process, using, my coaching, I help you get over the finish line and finally get to publish, because for some of you, this is a lifelong goal. This is a dream. And I am glad that I get to be a dream keeper. I helping people get to those dreams so that they can move on to the next thing. Because as I talked about last week, that you will feel that unfinished product bugging you until you get to finish. So even tonight, I have a great topic, because this is one of those questions that I get asked at least once or twice a week. And the topic is how to know if your book is worth writing. Okay, how to know if your book is worth writing. Because, like I said, people ask me this all the time, and I want to give you 5 reasons why I think your book is worth writing. And particularly because, we go through these cycles with our projects and we don't know what to do. But by going through these 5 reasons, you will be sure that your book is worth writing. Because, many times you have an idea for a new book. You may even have started writing a draft and you want to share it, but then you hesitate. Because then you start thinking, is it good enough? Will it go through processing? Will it be edited? Will people talk about it? It's like a lot of questions that come up in your mind, but it's good because you do want to question, that you do have a good product. And one of the things I do when I work with my one-to-one clients, or if I work in or teach online, that we ask, who is this book for? What is this book about? We ask a lot of questions because we want to make sure that you're clear, because clarity goes a long way towards you getting to the finish line, which is published. And so by asking questions, by being clear at the beginning, it helps you be able to write that book and without a lot of stops and starts along the way. And the other thing is that, that passion, like if the book is something for you to write, if it's worth writing, if it's the thing that you are supposed to get done, then these 5 reasons will tell you why your book is worth writing. Okay. So number 1, all right, you ready? You got your pens and paper. So what is the first reason why your book is worth writing? It's, it's one of those sayings. I tried to be a little cute with my points tonight. So it's that can't stop, won't stop. And what I mean is can't stop, won't stop thinking about your book, okay? Because if that idea for the book won't go away, if it year to year, if you haven't finished, that idea still comes, you write it down, you think about it, you might dream about it, you wake up, someone may even come up to you, it's like, hey, remember when you told me you were going to write a book? If you can't stop or won't stop thinking about this idea, then, it's pretty much an obsession that fills up your time. Sometimes it distracts you from doing things that you want to do because you're thinking about it. Every now and then you pull it out, whether it's in a notebook or on your laptop and you start writing. That means it's definitely worth writing because it won't let you go. Okay. And it's your motivator because as I was saying last week, when things are for you to do, it won't let you go until you do it. That unfinished product is going to haunt you until you get to completion. Okay. And then the second point, it's called wait. Let me write that down. I'm one of those people that I get an idea a minute sometimes. And thank God for phones. Thank God for little pads, Post-it notes, which had been my favorite in the past. I'm trying to get past the Post-it notes because I'll have envelopes full of just Post-it notes and I'm going through them like, wait, what was that about? What was that idea? But the thing is, if you don't write it down, you're definitely not going to remember. But the key is that you keep getting ideas for that book. You keep remembering stories. You remember, oh my God, I need to put this in there. Oh my God, I forgot to put this person in here. That story, that idea, that point, oh my God, that, revelation. Like when that happens to you, that means that you can't put that book down yet. That means you have to write it down. The ideas are still coming. Because the thing is, and I think in my online course, I talk about how do you know when you're finished with your book? Because no more ideas are coming, no more thoughts. You really just want to be done. But when the ideas are still coming, when you're still getting notes, you wake up, you're at a traffic light, you're at the gym, you're in the shower, and the ideas are coming, that means that's something you need to keep working out, okay? And then another way to know if your book is worth writing is the remix, okay? It's also called rewriting. But the remix, it's like you keep coming up with a new version. It's like you keep wanting to make it better and better. And the thing about it is you don't want to make something better if you're done with it. So when you know this book is worth writing, when you want to make it the best you can, and we're not saying like overwriting, overextending yourself, like not letting it go, but when it's like, no, I need to finesse this. Like this point we really need to make, like I really want someone to, grow from this experience that I'm sharing with them, or this is what I want them to learn, or whatever the point is that you have for them. It's like when you do that, then you understand that this is a reason why I need to keep moving forward in writing my book. So those are the first three. So we had can't stop, won't stop, meaning you can't stop thinking about your book. Number 2, hey, wait, let me write that down. That means the ideas keep coming. And then the remix, which is our way of saying that you keep wanting to perfect that book. You keep wanting to perfect that story. You want to add to it. There are things that like if I add this, if I move this, maybe I need to shift this. Like the more you want to finesse that product, the more that book needs to be written. And then number 4, show and tell, I'm calling it. What show and tell? It's when initially you were like, I ain't showing nobody nothing. But then as you get more confidence in the work, as you are moving forward, and you really just like, hey, will you take a look at this? Will you read this? Because when you're now free to share your work with someone else, free to get some constructive criticism, that you're not going to go running off and putting it in a box or the bottom of the drawer, never looking at it again. But when you're now ready to receive support and help, which is really what constructive criticism is, then you're ready to take that book forward. Because the thing is, when you bring in people to look at your work, you want them to say, hey, I like that. Like, oh my God, this is so good. Like I get so many submissions from people where they were like, hey, can you take a look at this? What do you think about this? And I'm like, wow, you've had an amazing life, or you've gone through that and you're still here, or you the beast, you the bomb, you have done it all. Like, I mean, whatever the situation, or even tears because, wow, I'm so sorry that happened to you. Because some stories really do have to be told. So by showing what you have to someone else, that means you're in the process of releasing. Because until you can release your book to others, and particularly to a book coach like me, to help you get that story out, to help you pull all the parts of it out. Because even as your book coach, not only do I help you go to publish, but I help you get through all the parts before you get there. So sometimes, I help dig deep, because there are a lot of parts of your book that are under all the layers of your day-to-day living. They're underneath the house cleaning and the job and the kids and the family and the car and the traffic and all the things that could happen in a day, to get to that story. And often we have to get quiet, or you have to just, sometimes I just let people talk because I hear their heart, I hear the story, I hear their life, and they haven't heard it because there's so much other noise around them. But I try to tune in and listen to their lives so that I can hear the story that needs to be told. And so that's number 4, show and tell. you're ready to show someone else your story. And part of showing and telling is really having a truth squad. So I'm a member of the truth squad that I will be like, that sucks in a nice way. But it's like, or, let's rework that sentence, or something's missing here, or you're using that word too much. And this is one of the things that I've had to share with several people. And it's a funny kind of thing once you're working with a lot of different writers, is that everyone has their favorite words. Some people say so a lot, so they may start every paragraph with so. So, some people use descriptives like pretty lucky, pretty hot, pretty, so they use the same word, or really. Pretty and really are words that people use to describe, as opposed to a whole lot more. So keep those synonyms handy, or rather that thesaurus handy, or go online, thesaurus.com, so you can, expand your vocabulary, particularly in your book. Because I use software sometimes, if I don't catch it myself, that will tell you how many times you've used a certain word. And they'll be like, okay, this is getting kind of tired. You're being redundant. Because unless the word has particular meaning to your book, to your story, to what it is you're saying, let's mix it up. Let's add some different words, okay? Because, having people who can tell you the truth about your writing are some of the more priceless people in your life, because, they have an unbiased opinion. It was like, this is not about whether I like you or not, love you or not, want to be your friend or not. This is about, I want you to produce the best product you can. Okay, so having your truth squad available, so it doesn't have to be anyone you can submit things online. You can, ask people maybe you work with, or relatives you never see, people who are honest, people you might admire. It's like, wow, I can't believe they said that. Tabitha Brown. All right, I'm gonna leave that alone. But you need your truth squad to be able to speak the truth in love, to tell you some things about your work that you need to hear that you may not see yourself. And particularly because, when we've got this paper in our hands, when we're holding this, baby, as I call it sometimes, like, you don't want to let it go. It's like the first time you take your child to daycare, you're like, no, I don't want to, and that book that you've been holding on to can be like that, so you need someone to help you pry your fingers off of it, but also to be able to tell you the truth about what you need. It's like, I was working with someone on a title today, and I was like, we had a working title. It's like, it's not doing anything for either one of us. Let's change that title. And then, we talked about some other things with, like, is it long enough? Are the characters right? Because it's a children's book and we're talking about illustrations. So there's a lot of different parts and moving parts sometimes at the same time that we have to go through. And being able to be honest with the author, being able to be honest with your coach, so you can say, I need help. I'm not getting this. Like, does this make sense? And being able to hear, no, but this is how it can sound better, or this is what we can do to make this. In fact, let's move this whole paragraph here, or let's move this chapter to the end. It'll fit better at the end. Like, being able to accept that kind of criticism to make that product the best it can be, because that's the goal. I want your book to hit whatever bestseller list you needed to hit. I want it to make you proud, which is really the most important thing. Not only that you accomplish your goal, but you're proud of your product. You're proud of the work that you put in, and you're proud of this book that you're now holding in your hand. And so that's the real goal. So those were my 5 points tonight about why your book is worth writing. So a recap real quick is, number 1, that you can't stop or won't stop thinking about it. Number 2, it's like, hold up, wait, let me write that down. You keep getting ideas about the book. Number 3, the remix. You keep wanting to work on it. You keep wanting to make it better, add to it. Number 4, show and tell. You're finally ready to share your book with some other eyes so somebody else can get a look at what you've been working on. And then number 5, your truth squad. Making sure you have those people in your life, those beta readers, those friends, that editor, your coach, who can tell you the truth about what it is your book needs to have in order for it to be the best. Because again, my goal is to support you and to serve you and to make sure that your book is the best that it can be. So that's what I got for you tonight. I'll see you on the 21st. So I am Valerie McDowell, your writer, editor, book coach, author, and consultant. And I want to thank you for joining me for another Write It Out Wednesday. And so I'll see you in 2 weeks. All right. Have a great evening. Bye.